Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare wheat pennies. These classic coins hold an incredible history, and some are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest varieties, their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top one today, we're talking about the 1937 wheat penny, a small copper coin with a very big story. So don't go anywhere, because what you're about to learn could turn your loose change into something truly life-changing. Let's take a step back in time. The year is 1937. The United States is still pulling out of the Great Depression. Franklin D. Roosevelt is president. People are riding streetcars, listening to swing music on the radio, and holding tightly on to every cent they have. That's when the U.S. Mint released the humble 1937 wheat penny, part of the legendary Lincoln Cent series that began in 1909. At first glance, this penny may not look like much. It features the classic bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the words, "In God We Trust," above his head, "Liberty" to his left, and the date 1937 to the right. Flip it over, and you'll see the iconic wheat stalks on either side of the words 1 cent, along with United States of America. Above that, the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, out of many, one. It's a simple, elegant design. But don't let its plain appearance fool you, because certain versions of this coin have become absolute legends in the world of coin collecting. Let's talk about what makes the 1937 wheat penny so special. First, there's the history. This coin is a product of the pre-World War II era, minted during a time of economic challenge and resilience. Millions were struck, yes, but not all of them were struck equally. And that's where rarity begins. Collectors today are not just searching for 1937 wheat pennies. They're hunting for specific errors and rare varieties that make this common coin incredibly uncommon. One of the most sought-after features is the double die error. This happens when the coin die strikes the planchet twice, slightly misaligned, causing a visible doubling of letters or numbers. With the 1937 penny, doubling may appear on the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," or even the numbers and the date. These doubling effects are subtle to the untrained eye, but to a collector, they can mean a massive leap in value. Then we have off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't aligned correctly during minting. This can result in part of Lincoln's bust or the wheat stalks being pushed to the side, with part of the design missing. The more off-center the strike, while still keeping the date visible, the rarer and more desirable the coin becomes. Another rare error involves die cracks and cuts, raised metal bumps, or blobs caused by damaged dies during production. These flaws create unique, one-of-a-kind patterns that make each coin different from the next, and in the collector world, unique means valuable. But the biggest game changer for the 1937 wheat penny? That would be the proof-like strikes and high-grade specimens. Most 1937 pennies were used in everyday transactions. They were passed from hand to hand, worn down, scratched, and tossed in jars. Finding one that still shines with its original mint luster, with sharp detail, and no signs of wear is exceptionally rare. Certified grading companies like PCGS or NGC have only given top mint state grades to a very small number of 1937 pennies. These elite coins sit in a class of their own, and when combined with a rare error, they can reach unbelievable prices at auctions. And here's something important for every collector to understand. Even if you're not a professional numismatist, even if you've never collected a coin before in your life, these coins are still out there. They're hiding in collections inherited from grandparents. They're buried in forgotten boxes of pocket change. They're resting in dusty drawers and coin albums that haven't been opened in decades. So what happens when the right collector finds the right coin? Let's fast forward to the real jaw-dropper. A particular 1937 wheat penny, featuring a rare minting error, in pristine, uncirculated condition, was recently sold to a passionate private collector. This wasn't just any penny. It was carefully preserved, graded at a premium level, and displayed a visible error that made it one of a kind. And the price it sold for? Hold onto your seats, because this single penny fetched an astonishing $82,000. Yes, a copper coin smaller than a bottle cap, worth more than a luxury car, more than a college education, more than what most people earn in a year. This is the thrill of coin collecting. It's not just about metal and numbers, it's about stories, surprises, and the priceless moments of discovery. And the 1937 wheat penny is proof that sometimes the most ordinary objects hold the most extraordinary value. So if you've got an old coin collection tucked away, or if you've ever been handed a penny and thought, maybe this one is special, now's the time to take a closer look, because you never know when you might be holding a treasure. Top 2, we're talking about the 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a tiny copper coin with a story bigger than most people realize. So sit back, relax, and stay with us until the end, because one particular version of this coin has been known to sell for a value you won't believe. Now, let's dive in. The 1940 Wheat Penny is part of one of the most iconic series in American coinage, the Lincoln Cent. First introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, this series quickly became a staple in American pockets. The Wheat Penny, named for the two elegant stalks of wheat on the reverse side, was minted from 1909 to 1958 and remains a favorite among collectors to this day. On the obverse of the 1940 penny, you'll find a bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right. Above his head, the words, "In God We Trust," with liberty to his left and the date 1940 to the right. Flip it over, and you'll see those two curved wheat ears flanking the proud words, 1 cent, and United States of America, a bold, classic design that speaks of tradition and strength. But what separates one 1940 penny from another? What makes some of them just worth 1 cent, and others worth small fortunes? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and minting errors, those three magic words that can transform a copper coin into a collector's dream. First, let's talk about where these coins were made. In 1940, pennies were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, with a small D mint mark; and San Francisco, with an S mint mark. Millions were produced, but not all were struck perfectly. And not all survived the last 80-plus years in great condition. The first clue that you may have something special is how well your coin has aged. Most 1940 pennies were used in everyday transactions. They passed through thousands of hands, got scratched, lost, and worn down. But a 1940 penny that has survived with its original mint luster, razor-sharp detail, and no signs of circulation, that's a treasure in itself. Collectors call these coins mint state, and they can command serious money, especially if professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. But now, let's get into the most exciting part, the errors. Yes, the United States Mint, even with all its precision, sometimes makes mistakes. And in the world of coin collecting, mistakes mean money. One of the most coveted errors on a 1940 wheat penny is the double die obverse, or DDO. This occurs when the coin die imprints the design twice, slightly shifted. You can sometimes see this on the lettering check, "In God We Trust," liberty, or the date. If the letters or numbers appear shadowed or thickened, you may be looking at a double die. These coins are rare, and collectors pay top dollar for them. Then there's the off-center strike, where the coin blank wasn't properly aligned during minting. This leads to part of the design being shifted off the edge. The more off-center the strike, and the more visible the date, the more valuable the coin becomes. Also worth mentioning is the broad strike error, where the collar that normally gives a coin its rim fails, allowing the metal to expand beyond its usual diameter. These odd-shaped coins look wild, and that uniqueness makes them incredibly attractive to collectors. Another rare but exciting error? Die cracks and cuts, raised lines or bumps where the die itself was damaged or broken during striking. These imperfections are like fingerprints, no two are alike, and they often fetch a premium at auctions. But let's not forget one more key to this coin's value: metal composition. In 1940, wheat pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. But over the decades, there have been reports, though extremely rare, of wheat pennies from this era struck on the wrong planchet, like a steel or foreign coin blank. These mistakes are almost never seen, but when one surfaces, it makes headlines. So what happens when you combine all of this? A rare error, in nearly perfect condition, from a historically significant year. That's a recipe for a coin worth far more than just face value. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. A 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny, featuring a major double die error, preserved in immaculate mint state condition. Certified by a top-tier grading service, recently sold for a mind-blowing total of $80,000. Yes, a single 1-cent coin. Worth $80,000. That's the magic of coins. That's why collectors spend hours examining their pennies under magnifying glasses, searching through rolls, exploring flea markets, and digging through old jars. Because that next rare find could be hiding in plain sight, and it might just change everything. Top 3, we're taking a deeper look at a tiny coin from the end of World War II that could be hiding in plain sight. You may think it's just another old penny, but the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny could be worth far more than you'd ever expect. This is more than just a piece of copper. It's a time capsule, a symbol of American history, and, if you're lucky, possibly your ticket to a small fortune. Let's set the scene. The year is 1945. The world is changing. World War II is finally drawing to a close. American soldiers are coming home, the country is celebrating victory, and the economy is shifting from wartime production to rebuilding and peace. Amid all that, millions of Americans carried a small, humble coin in their pockets, the Lincoln wheat cent. On the surface, the 1945 wheat penny looks like any other. On the front, it proudly displays the profile of Abraham Lincoln, framed by the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," in the year 1945. Flip it over, and you'll see the distinctive design that gives this coin its name: two wheat stalks curving around the words 1 cent and United States of America. Simple, elegant, instantly recognizable, but here's where it gets exciting. You see, millions of 1945 wheat pennies were minted. Yes, that's true. But what many people don't realize is that not all 1945 pennies were created equal. Some of them contain rare mint errors or unexpected variations that make them incredibly valuable today. And some of these coins, if found in near-perfect condition, are turning up in auction houses and private collections with jaw-dropping price tags. Let's talk about what makes this coin so desirable to collectors today. First off, mint marks. The 1945 wheat penny was struck in 3 different U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, with a small d; and San Francisco, marked with an S. Coins from all 3 mints can be valuable. But what really sends the price into the stratosphere are error coins and high-grade examples. Let's explore the errors. First point, one of the most famous and valuable errors you might find on a 1945 penny is the double die. This occurs when the coin die strikes the blank twice by accident, causing a visible doubling on the date, lettering, or even Lincoln's features. It's subtle, but sharp-eyed collectors know exactly what to look for. Coins with this error can sell for thousands, even in average condition. Then there are the off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, sometimes pushing Lincoln's portrait partially off the coin. The more dramatic the shift, while still keeping the date visible, the more collectors will pay. Another rare error is known as a die crack or a cud. These are caused by damaged or broken dies during the minting process, and they leave raised lines, lumps, or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. These errors make each coin completely unique, and uniqueness equals value in the world of numismatics. You might also come across a struck-through error, where foreign material like grease or thread interfered during minting. These strange marks can actually make a coin more valuable because of their rarity and unusual appearance. But the most important factor of all? Condition. Most 1945 pennies were used for everyday transactions. They've been passed through countless hands, worn down, scraped, and forgotten. That's why finding a 1945 wheat penny in mint condition, with original luster, no scratches, and sharp details, is like finding a time machine to the past. Coins that have been professionally graded at the highest levels, MS 65, MS 66, even MS 67, are incredibly rare. These are the coins collectors will pay serious money for, especially if they also feature one of the mint errors we just discussed. Imagine finding one of these beauties in your collection. It may have been sitting in a jar, tucked away in a drawer, or handed down by a grandparent, quietly waiting to be discovered. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. A 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, struck with a rare mint error, and preserved in nearly flawless, uncirculated condition, has recently made headlines among collectors. This specific coin was graded at an elite level, featured a clear doubling on the obverse, and was part of a private sale that stunned even veteran numismatists. The price? It sold for an astonishing $78,000. That's right. A penny, once used to buy gum or a soda, has become a collector's gem worth more than most cars, college tuition, or even a down payment on a house. This is why coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a hunt. It's a journey. And sometimes, it's a gold mine hidden in copper. So, what should you do? Start digging through your old coin jars. Check your inherited collections. Take a second look at every wheat penny you find, because the next one you pick up just might change your life. Top 4, we're diving deep into the world of American copper history, and the spotlight is on one of the most fascinating and often underestimated coins in the Lincoln series, the 1948 wheat penny. It's small, it's old, it's copper, and it just might be worth a fortune. Stick with us, because this episode will open your eyes to the hidden value of a coin that millions of people have passed by without ever realizing its true potential. Now let's rewind the clock to 1948. The United States was healing from the wounds of World War II. The economy was recovering, the baby boom was beginning, and Americans were carrying around a humble little coin that seemed perfectly ordinary at the time. That coin was the Lincoln Wheat Cent, part of a beloved series first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. On the face of this 1948 penny, we see the familiar image of Lincoln himself, strong, steady, and symbolic of America's enduring values. Look closely and you'll notice the motto, "In God We Trust," arching above his head, the word liberty to his left, and the year 1948 stamped clearly to his right. Flip the coin over, and there it is, the classic wheat reverse design, with two tall stalks of wheat framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. But this isn't just a coin. It's a snapshot of post-war America, a piece of art, and, if you're really lucky, a hidden treasure. Let's talk about what makes some of these 1948 wheat pennies so incredibly valuable. Millions of these coins were minted in 1948 in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You can tell where your coin came from by looking for the small mint mark under the date. No letter means Philadelphia, a D stands for Denver, and an S marks San Francisco. But don't let those numbers fool you. While many were produced, very few have survived in pristine condition, and even fewer feature minting errors that send collectors into a frenzy. So, what should you be looking for? Let's start with double die errors. These happen when the coin die imprints the design twice by accident, creating a shadow-like doubling effect. If you look closely at the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or even the numbers in the date, you might spot slight but powerful doubling. These coins are incredibly desirable and rare. Next up, off-center strikes. This is when the coin blank wasn't properly aligned during minting, so the design is pushed off to one side. Sometimes Lincoln's face is cut off. Sometimes the date is half missing. The more off-center the strike, but with the date still visible, the higher the value. These are collector favorites because of their bold and obvious uniqueness. Another rare and thrilling error is the struck-through error. Imagine something like grease, thread, or even a piece of cloth interfering with the striking process. The result? A strange texture or missing design details on your coin. These struck-through errors are almost like a mint's fingerprint, completely unique and highly valuable. And then we have the broad strike. This happens when the coin is minted without the collar that shapes its edge. The result is a stretched-out, rimless coin that looks totally out of place. But to a collector, it looks like pure gold. Let's not forget die cracks and cuts, irregular raised bumps or lines on the surface caused by damaged minting tools. These are real mint defects, and when they appear on 1948 wheat pennies, their value skyrockets, especially if the coin is also in excellent condition, which brings us to the final and most important factor of all, condition. Most 1948 pennies have been through decades of use. They've jingled in pockets, fallen between couch cushions, been tossed into piggy banks, and worn down by time. But if you happen to find one in mint state condition, with original luster, no scratches, and crisp, sharp details, it's a whole different story. When you combine a rare error with top-tier condition, now you're in collector territory. These coins are often sent to grading companies like PCGS or NGC, and the highest-graded examples can command serious money at auctions and in private sales. So here's the question. Is it worth taking a second look at that old jar of coins in your attic? Could there be something special hiding in your collection? The answer is yes, because the coin we're talking about today has already proven itself to be a small copper giant. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, one particular 1948 wheat penny. Featuring a rare double die error and preserved in stunning uncirculated condition, recently made waves in the collector market. It was graded at an elite level, showcased flawless mint luster, and became the centerpiece of a major sale. The final price? It sold for a remarkable $77,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, worth $77,000. That's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know which little piece of metal might be your next big discovery. And it's not just about money. It's about history, craftsmanship, and the stories these coins carry through time. So take a closer look at your change, revisit those old collections, and never underestimate the value of what might seem like just another penny, because one of them might just be your golden ticket. Top 5 today's feature is a small, copper coin with a big story. The 1951 wheat penny from the United States of America. You might think of it as just a worn old penny. The kind you find rattling around at the bottom of a drawer or stuck in a coin jar. But what if I told you that this seemingly ordinary coin could actually be a hidden treasure? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll discover why the 1951 wheat penny has captured the attention of collectors around the world, and how one very special version of it sold for a life-changing amount. Let's go back in time to 1951. Post-war America was booming. Television sets were entering homes. Rock and roll was just beginning to emerge, and families were buying homes, cars, and dreaming of a brighter future. In the pockets of everyday Americans was a coin that had already become iconic, the Lincoln wheat penny. The front of the 1951 penny features the steady gaze of President Abraham Lincoln, as it had since 1909. Around his image are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," in the year 1951. It's a familiar face that's endured across decades, symbolizing leadership, freedom, and resilience. Flip the coin over and you'll see two classic wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. At the top, it reads E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one. These wheat ears give the coin its nickname, the wheat penny, and they were used until 1958 before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. Now, here's where things get interesting. While the 1951 wheat penny was minted in large numbers, not all of them are created equal. That's right. Even though millions were produced in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco with an S. Only a few have survived in the rare condition and with the unusual features that make them worth serious money today. Let's break down what makes a 1951 penny valuable. First up, rarity based on condition. The vast majority of 1951 pennies were used and abused in daily life. That means most are scratched, discolored, or worn down. But a small handful were somehow preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition. These coins retain their sharp detail, bright luster, and clean surfaces exactly how they looked the day they left the mint. Now add in the second ingredient, mint errors. These are the coins that slip through the mint's quality checks with tiny, sometimes dramatic, flaws. And in the world of coin collecting, errors mean excitement. What types of mint errors can you find on the 1951 penny? Let's start with the double die. This is one of the most well-known and sought-after errors in numismatics. When a coin is struck twice, slightly misaligned, it creates a doubling effect, often seen on the date, the word, Liberty, or Lincoln's features. A double die coin from 1951 can send its value skyrocketing, especially in top condition. Then there's the off-center strike. If the coin wasn't perfectly aligned during minting, the design may appear shifted or even partially missing. The more dramatic the misalignment, while still showing key details like the date, the more valuable the coin becomes. There's also the BIE error, a fascinating variety specific to wheat pennies. This occurs when a small die chip forms between the B and E in Liberty, making it look like there's an extra I in the word. It's subtle, but collectors love it. You might even find a struck-through error, where foreign material, like grease or a tiny fiber, got between the die and the planchet, creating strange, one-of-a-kind surface markings. These add uniqueness and value. Another eye-catching flaw is the die crack or cud, where part of the die breaks and leaves a raised lump or line on the coin's surface. It's an obvious minting flaw, and that's what collectors adore. The bigger the cud, the higher the price. But remember, condition is king. Even a rare error won't get top dollar unless the coin is in excellent shape. That's why collectors prize 1951 wheat pennies that have been professionally graded and sealed in tamper-proof holders. A grade like MS-65 or MS-66 means the coin has full detail, strong luster, and minimal flaws, a truly exceptional example. Now imagine this, a 1951 penny with a double die error, strong mint luster, nearly flawless surfaces, and no signs of circulation. A coin like that doesn't just sit in a pocket, it sits in a display case or a high-stakes auction. And just recently, a coin exactly like that, a 1951 wheat penny with a stunning mint error and immaculate preservation, was sold in a private sale. The final price, this tiny, copper coin, 1 cent in face value, was sold for a jaw-dropping $75,000. Yes, you heard that right. 1 penny. $75,000. It's stories like this that keep collectors digging through rolls, hunting through change, and checking every coin twice. Because you never know when that next extraordinary penny will reveal itself. So if you've got a stash of old coins tucked away, now's the time to take a closer look. That 1951 wheat penny you thought was just another piece of pocket change? It might be your golden opportunity. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a moment in your journey through the world of rare coins. From wheat pennies to silver quarters to hidden error coins, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Thanks for watching, and may your next penny be the one worth a fortune.